So I'm just going to kind of walk you through that and then we're going to get started because we got a lot of stuff to cover. Um, and here's our little tracker. I put it in the chat. I'll put it in there again in a little bit if you missed it. Um, so first step, networking. Second step, connecting. Third step, inviting. So this is kind of the process, and this is what you want to try and do every day to kind of get your invites landing a little bit better. I personally think that I don't really invite someone. An invite to me is like, here's the link to the challenge pack. Do you want to buy it and join my challenge group? That is an invite. Everything up to that point is connection, networking, getting to know people, whatever, right? So by the time I get to the invite, I know where they've been in their journey. I know where they are in their journey. I know where they're going in their journey. I've identified a full solution for them. Like, here's all the things you're struggling with. Here's what we can implement right now to try and get you going with this. And then I ask for that commitment. To me, that's the invite process. It might be different for other people, and that's okay. Whatever it is for you, just note that, the invitation, generally an invitation requires an RSVP, right? Like an action. So if you're just randomly throwing stuff out there, but you're not requiring some kind of action back, then I would say it's more networking or connecting rather than inviting. Okay. So we're just going to go through some activities of each, examples of each, so that you know for sure. When your coach says, how many people have you invited today? You can be like, I invited one, but I networked with like 100 and I connected with like 15, right? It's different. So it's just good for your soul to be able to do this in this process. So the first thing we're going to do, which we always do, is start with a post. Today, I want you to kind of focus on, it can either be Facebook or Instagram, but I want you to focus on something that's shareable, something that the person, whoever's reading it, can save it, share it, take it away, apply it, something shareable. It can be, and I put some examples down here. So it can be like a problem versus solution. So if you do a post with a picture and you tell a story, you can say, this is the problem I was dealing with. Here's how I solved it. Just make sure there's a problem and a solution. Or you can do like a philosophy about health and fitness that you personally have, or a perspective. That's generally a really great way actually to find people within your specific niche. If you share your specific philosophies on health and fitness, you're going to find a lot more people that think like you. It can be a tip or a tool. It can be a recipe. It can be an idea. I have this problem. I'm going to try this. Has anyone ever done this before? Right? Like, what are your solutions? Like, ask for some feedback or techniques of some kind, right? Those are just some ideas of what shareable content is. So I'm going to give us a solid 10 minutes. You can, again, post on your Instagram or your Facebook. You can even do this in your challenge group if you want. Try and post shareable content. I like doing this on Instagram with the specific power hour because you can actually see how many people shared it, saved it. That's what you want to be able to see. Because if nobody did, it wasn't shareable content, right? And just to give a little tip, most people won't share pictures of like, or save or share pictures of like your kids or your family. Right? They will save videos of you working out because they'll be like, oh, I want to go back and try that. Or sometimes they'll save pictures of like just yourself if you posted really good content with it. Does that make sense? So there's an app called Word Swag. If you don't know any good apps, there's also Canva that has an app where you can create text slides. Carousels work really well for shareable content. Reels, a repost from somebody that you really love. So like if you go to one of your mentors pages on Instagram and you find something that you really love, share it. That's a shareable post, something viral, shareable, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to go in and do that. Okay, we're going to go for one more minute. Did anyone struggle with this exercise? Raise your hand. It's okay. It's hard. Shareable content is hard because what's valuable to you is valuable to you. But whenever you think about it being valuable to somebody else, you're like, I don't freaking know. This is valuable for someone else, right? So the only thing you really can do is say, is this valuable to me? And if it is, share it. Super simple, right? The more you really stay in line with yourself and what you're doing, not only will you attract better people and the right people to you, but you're going to feel good about the work that you're doing. And that's so important. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the next exercise. That's the most in-depth part of networking that I do. And the reason why posting is put in the networking category is because that's a way of you putting yourself out there. You're going out trying to find connection, right? The connection's not made yet. You're trying to create connection. And that's what networking is all about. It's trying to create opportunity for connection. So the next thing we're going to do is, again, on Instagram, or you can do this on Facebook. With your friends, and you basically go into all the people that are following you or that have friended you on Facebook. Super simple. And you follow or friend them back. Super simple, right? It creates an immediate connection when you do that because they're already connected to you. So what you're going to look for are people who have followed you for a really long time. The way that you do that on Instagram is really simple. You just go to your homepage, you click on your followers, and you scroll. The people at the top followed you the most recently. The people at the bottom followed you forever ago. So what I want you to do is scroll down and try and find people who followed you a long time ago, who've been following you for a consistent amount of time, who are really connected to what you're doing. This is when this activity gets really impactful because they're going to know exactly who you are. And when they see you follow them back, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, they followed me back. And then later, when you go into connection work, you can message them and be like, I noticed that you followed me for a really long time. I just went to your page. I don't know how I missed you. I followed you back. And you can comment on some of their stuff that they've posted. Immediate connection, right? You connected back. So everybody that's following you, that's a friend right now, is already connected to you, which means that door is already open for you to invite, for you to talk to them, for you to make friends with them. It's already there, right? That is a type of warm market for you. So I'm going to give us just like 2 minutes, and I want you to go through that and friend a couple people back on Facebook or follow back a couple people on Instagram. Okay, super simple. We're going to keep moving. Networking generally goes really fast. So the next thing that I want to do is just do a like. This is a Instagram specific kind of thing, but it's just to get the engagement up and flowing on your page. So what you're going to do is just hit your little house button and we go for 1 minute and you literally just like as many pictures as you can. So if you just started following a couple people who've been following you forever, right? Their content's going to come up first. And those are the pictures that you're going to be liking. See how it all works? It's all connected. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. I want you to count how many pictures you were able to like and post them in the chat. Okay, so we're going to go as soon as it turns 7:24. And then we'll just do that. And again, this exercise is 100% to create engagement. You can do this with comments as well. And you can be like, I'm going to comment for 1 minute. Okay. Okay, go. Okay, stop. I did 42. I got a little lost on this Oreo post. This person cutting an Oreo cake. I was like, wow, that looks amazing. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is I want you to create a little poll on your Instagram stories. This is a really great way, again, to just create engagement every day. To start your stories on Instagram with a question, right? And it can be anything. On Saturdays, usually, for those of you that have had power hours, we usually do, what time do you wake up on Saturday? Do you exercise on Saturdays? Do you rest on Saturdays? If you keep it kind of in the health and fitness realm, it's going to be easier to make a connection with that person about health and fitness, and then, right, be able to eventually see if that's somebody that you would want to have in your corner. So it's really easy to do an Instagram story, and I'm actually just going to show you how to do this really fast. So if you pull up your Instagram, you hit your little plus button at the top, you choose to do a story. I'm going to teach you guys a trick. It's really simple. You literally just take a picture of anything. It doesn't matter. You can take a picture of your hand on your desk. Just take a picture. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hit the little squiggly line at the top, which is the draw feature. And you're going to choose whatever color you want your text to be. I'm going to do like a light pink. And you literally just put your finger on your screen and it will turn that color. Did you know that? So now you have a blank screen. Super easy. So now you can just write a question. Good morning, happy Saturday. What's the first thing you put in your body when you wake up every day? Literally just ask some question and then add a little poll to it. And you can put the answers that you want them to post. Do you go for water or do you go for coffee? That's a really great early morning question. Do you put water in your body first or coffee? And that can be like your two poll answers. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 minute to go in and just create a little poll. So generally when I do a poll, I take a screenshot of it and then on the next slide, I'll say what I do. So for mine, I did, do you go for water first thing in the morning or coffee? That was the poll. I then posted a slide of just like that screenshot on the next page. And I crossed both of those out and I wrote pre-workout, right? See how it's like kind of like, did you get it? Okay. That's how you can kind of like start infusing your life, like what normal people are doing that aren't really living a healthier lifestyle compared to someone who is, like their go-to usually in the morning is their pre-workout, right? Okay. So now we're going to go through the connection section. We're going to do a little bit of connecting today, but I want to make sure we get to the invite part. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on, again, our Instagram followers. This is a really good way to kind of reach out to them and make a connection. So if people, I know a lot of people are like, do you reach out to every single person that likes every single one of your photos? No, but when I do my power hours, that's where I focus my connection work, is I keep it home. So with networking, I like to look at it as that's me going out into the world, like trying to bring people to me, because eventually you guys, you want to get so good with your content and with what you're doing that people just come to you and you don't have to go out for it anymore. People are just coming to you. That's the goal, right? And that does happen. So with consistency, if you're not consistent, that will never happen. I'm just telling you right now. But if you are, then that's eventually what happens when you get good at this networking, connecting, and inviting, is people just start coming to you. They start finding you. You start getting followers. People start talking to you and engaging with you. And you, when you post your invites on social media, all these people that have been connecting and networking with you are like, I want to do it. That's how it works. That's when you're like, okay, if I just got a challenger off Instagram that I didn't have to go out and get, right? Like go out and find, that means I've been doing the work, right? That's your tell. And it takes a while to get there, but you will. So networking is kind of going out into the world, bringing people to you. This is a huge part of our business, especially if you're starting out. Connection for me is bringing those people back home. It's going out, but connection is like bringing them back home. And then inviting is really welcoming them in. That's how I look at that process. So with connection, I really try to stay within the people who are already connected to me, your followers, your friends, people on your platform. So that's why it's important to build it every day, right? So you're talking to new people every day. So your Instagram followers or your Facebook friends, what I want you to do is just take a couple minutes and I want you to reach out to a couple of them. A really simple way to reach out. Hey, thanks so much for reaching out to me. You can expect X, Y, and Z. You can expect to see this from me. This is what I post: daily movement and mindset. Something super simple. Post or say whatever it is that you post about on this platform. And then you can just say, so feel free to reach out to me. Are you on your own health and fitness journey? You can end with a question like that, right? Like just try to make a little connection. Keep it really simple. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You're not here to sell them something at this point. That's not your goal. And if that's what's in your mind, it's not going to work. I'm telling you right now, if you need the sale, it will never come. That's like sales 101. If you need the sale, it will never happen. You really need to stay in the right mindset. When you're networking, just network. When you're connecting, just connect, right? Once the connection's made, then you can start to think about inviting, because you can be like, oh my gosh, this person's amazing. Like I want them in my corner. I don't want to let them go. That's when you know this is someone I want to invite and welcome into my circle, right? Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a minute. I want you to try and reach out to 3 of your followers or friends and just send them a quick message. Thanks so much for, again, this is kind of a warm market. They're already connected to you. You're not being creepy by doing this, okay? I'm gonna give you a couple minutes. Okay, we're gonna skip the next one, the Insta Story Watcher, because it's basically the same thing. It's just another platform to do this on. But I specifically do this. You can now do this with people who watch your reels instead of just your Instagram stories. But generally, this is an untapped market because they're not just people who are following you. A lot of people watch your stories or your reels that aren't following you. So when you connect with them in this way, it helps them, it entices them to follow you. And that's kind of what you want. It helps you make a connection with people who saw something of yours, but maybe didn't go to your homepage, and it's a way for you to connect with them. So the last connection piece that I wanted to do today was just with your coaches and challengers. So right now we're kind of at the almost the end of the month. You've got a good opportunity right now to reactivate a challenger or a coach who kind of has fallen off track or who kind of had a rough month, whatever. So what I want you to do is just reconnect. And that's a big part of our business with retention. Learning how to reconnect well is key. So with this, what I want you to think about is a coach or a challenger, somebody in your life, even, and just reach out to them. Hey, I was thinking about you today. Where have you been this month? Have you been exercising still? And don't make it like they've done something wrong by not showing up. That's like the most important thing. Like, this is your open door to invite them back in. So make sure that when you reach out and reconnect with people, you kind of take away that guilt and shame. That's a really important piece of reconnection, is making sure that you love them no matter what. A lot of people get bitter about people not showing up and whatever. I do not get lost in that garbage ever. I don't get lost in people's emotions. I don't know what people are going through, right? Like, all I know is where I'm at. So I can reach out to people, I can be kind, I can ask them what's going on with their life, and that's it. So that's what I focus on. So I'll say things like, hey, I was just thinking about you today. I wanted to check in and see how your workouts are going. I assume that they're doing them always. Even if they're not showing up, I assume it. And that way, you guys, that does give them the opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, I wish I was working out. I fell off, whatever. Immediately, the conversation opens back up, and you're able to coach them in that moment and help them feel better about themselves. Again, right? Our goal is to help people feel better, not worse. If there's something toxic happening in your organization, in your challenge group, in your code, whatever, like, that needs to be squashed. I have been a coach for 10 years, and I can tell you, I've had maybe one coach that was drama. One. And I helped her pay off her mortgage, and then she quit. You know what I mean? And I was like, whatever. That was our journey together. Great. It's just, you just really, it is what you put out there. It is what you're attracting. If something doesn't fit, it's okay to be like, this doesn't fit, and squash it. We're done. You're out. Sorry. It's not worth it. So with your coaches and challengers, your reconnections, really just make sure you're opening a door for them to be able to start again. That's the whole point. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to go and try and make a reconnection with a challenger, a coach, somebody that you've been, a prospect you've been talking to that kind of maybe ghosted you, whatever. So go and try and send out a little message. Okay. This is, again, another thing that's really important with this when you're reaching out to people is to really stay in the connection mindset. Okay. It's really easy to be like, I'm going to reach out to this person and see if they'll rejoin my challenge group. I'm going to reach out to this person and see if I can get them to get into a challenge pack and hit Success Club. Right? Like it's really easy to do that with the people that you are trying to stay connected to. But I promise if you keep it in that connection vein, that opportunity for you to invite them will naturally happen and it will also really connect. Like they'll actually do it and they'll want to do the work. That's really the key. Success Club, I'm just going to tell you guys, Success Club does nothing if the person that you're selling to does nothing, right? Like it's temporarily fulfilling for us to get a sale, get a commission check, right? But if that person doesn't do anything, it doesn't change their life. All you feel like is you're selling to people. That's generally what coaches fear the most when they sign up. So it's really important to, again, stay really results focused, keep your connection vibe high, meaning that's kind of the space you want to live in all the time is connection, right? It really turns to the invite for me when I want to get stuff done. That's when I go into coach mode, right? So for me, there's really two modes to my coaching. It's connection and it's coach mode. And connection is like everything other than me dropping the truth bombs that I drop, like I go into coach Jace mode and I almost become a different person. It's like an alter ego of mine because in real life, I'm still the same, but I'm very, very straightforward. I'm very fearless when it comes to helping other people. Whereas in my real life, I would be a little more tentative and I wouldn't like offer advice and I wouldn't do some of those things. With coaching, I absolutely do. If I have conversations with people, I will ask them personal questions. I will coach them. I will give them what they actually need. I'm not in the business of enabling, right? I'm in the business of transformation and I'm passionate about transformation. So we're going to go into the invite section. So the public invite, we're going to spend 5 or 6 minutes doing this. And I actually want you to focus this on Facebook, your Facebook page. And what I want you to think about, it doesn't matter if it's a like page or a personal Facebook page, doesn't matter, whatever Facebook you have. And I want you to focus on a public invite. A public invite is a general call to community. Hey, I'm running this. This is what we're doing. This is what the challenge is about. This is going to be my focus for June. Where are you at? If you're in the same place, you're welcome to come join us. Like it's a public invite. So focus on, I kind of wrote out right here some ideas for you on how to lay it out. Lay out the challenge that you're going to run in June in detail. Hit some of the pain points that either you're struggling with, your challengers are struggling with right now that helps you come up with this challenge group in the first place. Share why you're doing it and cultivate some of that belief in what you're doing, and then call people to action. It's really simple. Don't make it overcomplicated. What I love about Facebook is you don't have to have a picture with every single thing you post. This can just be like a straight text invite. Hey, I'm starting to put together my June challenge group. This is what my girls or I'm struggling with right now, or this is what we're seeing happening. So I thought that I would do this kind of challenge in June. Is this something that you would be interested in? You can even gauge interest right now because we've still got 9 days to the new year. It's a really great way to kind of poll your community and see where everybody's at. So yes, make a post on Facebook publicly about your challenge group. A CTA is a call to action. That's really important to learn. So a call to action is like something you can end everything with. It's just calling people to action. Hey, like my page. Hey, subscribe. Those are all call to actions. Click the link in my bio. DM me. Those are all call to actions. Anything that really calls a person to take some kind of action forward is a CTA. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys about 5 minutes to create a Facebook post. Everyone should do this, even if you've never posted on Facebook. Okay, just do it. Get it out of your system, get it out of the way. Don't expect any results from it, just do it. Okay? Okay, So once you're done with that, what I want you to do, so these are three different kinds of inviting. There's public inviting, there's private inviting, and then there's personal inviting. Those are really the three kinds that I like to think about. Public inviting is just what you just did, posting on a big platform in a big arena, right? Like you're going to be, it's just going to feel different when you invite like that. And it should, because it's not, it really is a general call to community. It's like, hey, everybody, this is what I'm doing. If you're interested, come here, right? Like you're not going to say the same things to your colleagues as you would to your mom. It's kind of like looking at it like that, like really understanding your audience and where you're posting is important. I think a lot of people, honestly, for me personally, it's way easier to show up how I just show up generally all the time on every platform. That makes it the most simple for me. I don't try to like be any certain way for any kind of platform. When I'm talking in public, I talk the way I would talk in public. When I talk in private, I talk the way I would talk in private, right? Like it's just really understanding kind of the differences. So with your public invites, you can be a little more playful. You can make it a little more exciting and fluffy and whatever you want to do. When you do a private invite, that's generally for like DMs, your challenge groups, like your current challengers. That's for group pages, your bod groups, comment threads. It's just more, it's still public forums, but they're sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not private. They're just more intentional, right? They're more intentional places, they're more focused. So with your private invite, what I want you guys to do is kind of take that same idea, because hopefully you already have your June kind of lining up right now with what you're going to do. Just gauge interest in it in your challenge group. Hey guys, I know we have 9 days left for May. Here's how I want to finish strong. And then here's how I want to start strong in June. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Tell me if this is in line with what you guys are needing, or let me know an area of focus you would really like to focus on, right? Like your invites in your group pages are either going to be exploratory, meaning you're going to try and gauge what's going on, or you're going to decide exactly what needs to happen. And you're going to be like, this is what we're doing. It's one of those two. So really understanding which one it needs to be for your team is part of your leadership. That's for you to decide. But I think understanding that is important. So I want you guys to go into your challenge group or your bod group and put your feelers out there and just see how everyone's doing. See what people want to focus on for the summer. You can ask, do you guys want to do a 6-week challenge? Do you want to keep it shorter focuses? Where are you at? And gauge where your team is at right now. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go into your group and do that. And then we're going to send our last invite. Okay. So, um, our last one is just a personal invite. This is a one-on-one, very intentional. You know exactly who you're going to invite. I want you to think about a friend, a family member, a prospect, a coach, a challenger, somebody who needs what you're going to be doing next month. And I want you to reach out to them one-on-one. Generally, one-on-one invites happen in direct messages or text for me. Um, or if it's like on Instagram, I'll be like, most of the time, you guys, by the way, if I connect with people in my DMs on Instagram, I give them my phone number. And I'm like, will you just text me? It's way easier. And I cannot tell you how much easier the conversion is that way. It used to be something that like freaked me out giving my personal number out, but if it's somebody that I've already made a connection with, then I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not really concerned about it. I don't really attract, I'm not going to give my number out to weird people. So I just want you to give you guys this opportunity for the last minute to just reach out to someone personally. Like, hey, I was thinking of you. I'm running this challenge in June. Where are you at with your workouts right now? Are you working out? What are you doing? Like, catch me up. And I want you to really intentionally invite someone. So either write down who that's going to be or take the next minute and do that, and then we'll end. Okay, we're going to end. It's 8 o'clock. Hopefully you guys got some good ideas. Hopefully you got a little work done. I think I'll do a whole series of this in June for my power hour. So we'll do one networking power hour, one connection power hour, and one invite power hour. I like really focusing in one area at a time. Those ones are awesome. And these ones are really good for just like an everyday trying to get each category in. So I posted the tracker in the chat. If you guys need anything else, let me know. Have a good week. Have a good rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.